Well, hello everyone. This is Kim Horvath from Life Coach Office, and I am very excited that you are here with me. We are going to have our Life Coach Office open call for the month of September. And if you are not new, if you've been on our calls before, you will see that we are using a brand new system. We are using Zoom video, and now you are able to see me. Hi. It's 9:30 here on the East Coast, actually 9:41 here on the East Coast, and I'm excited to be able to bring a call at a different time of the night with the hopes that we can get more of you with the ability to be able to be on live. So just know that we'll be changing the times from time to time just to allow more people to be on live. There's no other reason for it, and we're excited to be able to do that for all of you. Tonight, we have a number of things that we're going to cover. Um, and it's really going to be all about the last enhancement that we have, the enhancement that's coming up. We're going to talk a little bit about the library because I still get tons of questions about that. We're also going to talk about the visions and goals area of the system. And we are most definitely going to be covering our Universal Coaching Systems website. So I'm very excited about that. I welcome all of you to the call, and understand the purpose for these calls is nothing other than to help you utilize the system more seamlessly. It's in these calls when we get to share any tips or tricks that we might have to help you do something a little bit faster, a little bit more efficiently. Sometimes there are things that we're doing ourselves. Sometimes there are things that we find out from you wonderful coaches out there. And, it's an opportunity for you also to be able to ask your question immediately to one of us and to get an answer. So I'm just very excited to always be able to bring you these calls once a month. All right, now, one more housekeeping note. If you ever have a topic that you'd love to see us to put a webinar on about, a video, whatever the case might be, please, please, please submit that information to us. Just go to your Life Coach Office support button and send us a support ticket. Let us know what you're interested in. We are more than happy to give you what it is you're looking for. We want our coaches to be successful. That's what we really want. So if it's something that concerns you, it's something that concerns us. And we'll do whatever we can to get you the information that you need. All right, so we're going to start off. How are we starting this? Let's see here. All right, we're going to go ahead. We're going to start off by having you look at the Universal Coaching Systems screen. Let me just make sure that you are looking at my screen. Yes, you are. Okay, so you see this site. This is the Universal Coaching Systems site. And this beautiful lady right here is Renee, our founder, owner, creator of Life Coach Office, which is one of the tools of Universal Coaching Systems. So if you have not listened to one of the previous calls, or if you haven't really paid much attention to the emails that you've received, Universal Coaching Systems is the parent company for Life Coach Office. Universal Coaching Systems is really all about made-for-you coaching tools for coaches so that they can get their coaching business online and operating quickly. Life Coach Office is one of the tools that is available to coaches through Universal Coaching Systems. So if you go to the Life Coach Office website, it's going to point you right back here to Universal. All right. So here you see that there is a tab for Universal Coaching Systems, for Life Coach Office. And when you click it, there you go. There are a few things that you are used to seeing on the Life Coach Office site. There's an overview of the site. There's try it for 30 days, and then there's a knowledge base. I'm going to click the knowledge base area because this is something that many of you used to go to before, and you may not have known where to get it. So when you click the knowledge base, look at this. Look what's here. LCO open calls and tutorials are there. The LCO frequently asked questions are there. All the information about our software updates, which you used to be able to get right on the Life Coach Office screen, you'll find them here on the Universal Coaching System screen under Life Coach Office knowledge base, and then case studies, which is really about a blog, and you probably received this actually through email. So if it looks familiar, you received it through email. So let's talk for a moment about our software updates. I want to tell you about the one that we had last month, okay? We're going to click there. Some of you may have noticed a few things different with your Life Coach Office, and some of you, still aren't quite sure, aren't quite aware, and I'm going to share this with you right now. So what happened with the last update? So some of our updates, as you know, are really large updates. And then there are some of them where we just do a little bit of tweaking. We make some things a bit more seamless, a bit more efficient, and we, just kind of release it. We let you know, and you actually probably notice it more by using the system. So here's what happened. Okay, so now when you sign in, you notice that there was an alert on your screen for the next meeting that you have, the very next meeting that you have upcoming. When you sign into your Life Coach Office, you see an alert for that meeting directly on the home page. And if you click it, you can go directly into that client's coaching journal. That has to be convenient for many of you, so that, when you're about to go in prior to a session, you can go in, just sign in. You don't have to pull up the person's name, go into the coaching journal. Just click, one click, and you are there in the coaching journal. You can also, in your classroom, upload not only video, but audio. Isn't that awesome? So, for those of you who are putting your audio in the library and making a classroom out of the two of those, if you would like to just have everything in the classroom, audio and visual, and video, you can. So I think that's fantastic. Awesome, awesome. You can also add thumbnails to lessons that have no audio or video linked to them, which, is really just a picture. There are several little fixes in this release that are not particularly exciting, but they'll improve your overall user experience. So what that means is, just little things that we've added, either things that you really will use that, it's just something small that you've asked for, or it's something more technical that's going to make the system function more securely and better than what it was functioning before. So that is what happened in the last update. Pretty cool, right? Now we have another update that is going to be, and you can, if you wanted to go in and get a detailed summary, you could read and it'll tell you everything that was fixed. But we have another update coming soon. You're going to receive an email about it, and I want to tell you about it tonight because it's important enough that you really do want to hear about it. So I know you've probably read an email somewhere, and if you're on our Facebook page, I think there might have been a post about it or something, that we are moving to Stripe, right? Life Coach Office is moving their payment system from PayPal to Stripe. And that does affect all of you as our coaches, our clients. And so let me go, hold on, I want to get into the Life Coach Office screen, the coaching screen. Yep, okay. I want to get in here and I want to show you how that's going to affect you. So let's just go to the home. I want to make sure I'm in my coach screen. I am? Okay. So what will happen is that when we move over to Stripe, what that means is that you will need to use a credit card in order to pay for your Life Coach Office subscription. When you pay through PayPal, of course, you can pay directly through your bank account. You will not be able to do that through Stripe. So what will happen is when we move over to Stripe, when time for payment comes, you're going to be prompted that you need to go in and add your credit card, okay? So what that means is that literally, let's say tonight was the night that Stripe came on board. Tomorrow, when you logged into Life Coach Office, you're going to get a notice that says, please register your credit card. I think that's how it's going to work. It's either when you, don't quote me on that. It's either going to be when you sign in the next day or when your next payment is due. I think it's when your next payment is due. So if your payment is due on Monday, when you go in on Monday, it will say, please, input a credit card, okay? Let me show you where you do that. I'm just gonna move this on my screen. Here we go. All right, so you're gonna go up to your coach name and you're gonna go to My Subscription. And when you edit, not cancel. Is that it? No, that's not it. Hold on. I did it earlier. And now I don't remember where it was. I thought it was my subscription. Hold on. And I didn't write it down. I'm sorry. These are the things that happen. I think that it was in here. I really think that it was in here. But maybe it's not in here because we haven't moved over yet. Yep, definitely not there. Yeah, I think that it was in here. So, oh, yeah. Hold on a second. I got to go to another site. That's why. I'm sorry. I have to go here. All right, much, much better. I was in my regular testing site and I needed to go to the demo. Here we go. So this is what's going to happen. You're going to go into your name right here, and you're going to click on my subscription. And this is what you're going to see. So it's going to go from looking the way it was looking to looking like this. And it's going to say credit card, and you're going to have to update it, okay? And put your credit card number in there and save it. Once you do that, of course, there's no credit card, so it's not going to do it. But once you do that, what will happen is it's going to save that credit card and it will bill that credit card every month for your subscription, whatever it is, okay? So let me just show you again that I really wasn't losing my mind. So if I go to my old screen and I go to my subscription, as you can see, it looks different. Why? Because I'm paying through PayPal, all right? But our other site, this is the site that we work on when we're doing things before we launch them live. So I'm going to go backward. So coming from my home screen, once again, you're going to do the same thing. This is the way it's going to look when you log in. It'll tell you're going to be prompted, and there it is, my subscription. You click on it and it will look like that. And you'll need to put your credit card in, and you'll be billed every month from that credit card. What's cool about using Stripe is that the expectation is that once you create an invoice now and send it to your client, you should be able to have them pay by credit card or PayPal. So that's our expectation, and we know that sometimes these things don't go the way they should, but that is our expectation. So you're going to be getting some information upcoming about that really soon. You'll be getting an email. As you always do, you'll be notified exactly when all of this is going to take place. It's going to tell you exactly what you need to do. Just make sure you're on the lookout for it, because you don't want to have a situation where your access to your life coach office is interrupted. And that's really what we want to avoid. So the sooner you go in and put your credit card information in, the more seamless it's going to be. You don't want to wait until you do, because if you do that, you could end up trying to sign in when you need to be working with a client, and you have to go through the process of adding your credit card. So as soon as you see that information, and as soon as we move over to Stripe, please go ahead and put your credit card information in there. There you go. That's really all I wanted to say about that. So, but that's pretty big for us to do that, and it's just going to make a lot of things work a lot easier because it's something that many of you have been asking for. So there you go, you got it. All right. The other thing that I want to do tonight is I want to take you over to our Facebook page. We have a great Facebook page, and I should have had it prompted up already, but I don't. So bear with me as I get to it, because you're going to see my personal Facebook page. Come on here. Takes a moment. There we go. All right. Can I get in here? Yes. This is how you find it. Universal Coaching Systems, and see our logo. Click that. And there you have it. Here's the reason why I want you to see this. I'm going to scroll down on the page, and you'll see that there's some pretty cool information that people have been getting just by being a part of this. So how to facilitate a kick-ass high-end mastermind, right? That's a great thing right there. Come on. Oh, that's me. Simple, clear sales funnel overview. But they always post some really cool things. A free copy of Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich. If you haven't read that book, you need to read that book. It's an awesome book. Read it. As a matter of fact, read it a couple of times. It's a really good book. I periodically go back and read it. It's really a good book. The most important thing in life is to know why you are doing what you're doing. Most people don't know. They just go with the flow. And there's always a really good something to read, something to get you to think. And the truth is that I think that with some of these things that we're posting on here, you might even be able to use some of this information with your clients. So check out our Facebook page, join us, like it, and share in the conversations, because we have some pretty cool, pretty interesting conversations on our Facebook page. All right. Now remember, if you were on the Life Coach Office Facebook page, we no longer use that page. So, and actually it was canceled. I don't think that Facebook has taken it down yet, but we did get rid of it. So it's only a moment of, a period of time before it goes away. So please go ahead, go into Universal Coaching Systems on Facebook and like the page, right? Great. Alrighty, so what are we talking about tonight? Let's go to the library first, because I've spoken about the library a little bit, and I continue to get questions about the library versus the classroom. So I think what I like to do is today I'm going to just talk about the library and the library only, and then another time I will talk about the classroom only. Okay, and then we're going to move on to something else. So what is the difference between library and classroom? This is how I view it. I view the library as being just like your free public library. I view it as the place where predominantly I host all of my free value add products for my coaching clients. Now, I will obviously group them according to subjects. So whether it's finances, whether it's career, whether it's spirituality, I will separate them in folders, right? But for the most part, most of the things in my library are openly available to most of my clients. And that's simply the value add as having me as your coach. The way I see it, it's just something more that I offer that a lot of coaches don't offer. If I write a blog post, I'm going to put that blog post in my library. Because I want to make sure that the people that are coaching with me can get all of my items from one spot. I don't want them to have to go to my website and to Life Coach Office. They can if they want to, but for those who just want to go one place and be done with it, I want them to have access to the information there. Any forums that I might create that I have people use, I do a decent amount of career coaching, and so sometimes with that, there are different forms that I've created. Sometimes I have clients that we get into things with budgeting, light budgeting, nothing intense about, not stocks and bonds or anything like that, but literally just budgeting 101. And there's some forms in this is my personal coaching account I'm talking about, that will be in my library for that. I want you to think of your library as the place that you would give a freebie. Think of it as the place that if you were talking to someone and you wanted to give them something of value as a coach, you're trying to lure them as a client, or if you are talking to one of your clients and there's something in particular that they need that you have and you want to give to them, think of it like that. They can go and check it out any time of day or night, and when they take it out, it's okay. It's digital, so there's plenty of copies for everyone else. That's how I think of the library. So when you click on the library, you will see here that what we have right at the top, this is a MP4, so that's music. There's the W is for Word documents. This is for Acrobat Reader, so that's a PDF. And then these are folders. Within the folders, are other items, okay? You can have as many folders as you want. You can upload as many items as you want. You can, I mean, whatever it is that you want to do with your library, just do it, okay? Just do it. I think the library is probably one of the most underutilized places that we have in the system, and it's there to help you. So, what if there's a song that you own, not something that's for free, but you just want to create a folder for motivation, for kind of like a click here when you're having a bad day, and in that folder maybe you'll have a video, an audio, something great to read, um, whatever, a few different things that people, a few different resources that people can go to in order to just make their day a little bit brighter. Think of your library like that. Also think of your library as a place where you can store all types of forms. So maybe you have clients that prefer to write and not necessarily do everything electronically. And maybe you create like a little 2-page, form for them to keep notes for your coaching. You can store it in there, and you can, or you don't have to upload it to their important documents. You can store it there. They can always go there and get it. All right. So think of your library like that. When you're adding to your library, you're just going to highlight, see how that turns. You're going to highlight, you're going to right click, and there you go. New folder and upload. Which do you want to do? If you click upload, it's going to take you straight to your computer. Here it's going to ask, it has right now all clients clicked. Right now, I just want to be the only one to view it at the moment. Because maybe I just want to make some decisions about it first. I just want to get it in there and decide who I want to have access to it later. I do that often. And then you just click add files. When you click add files, what happens? It pulls up your files. You can go and search for something. I'm going to just choose this. I don't know. And it's very simple. You see it. Click start. Bam. Just like that. It's there. There it is right there. Isn't that easy? It's really, really easy. Let me show you how easy it is to create a folder. New folder. Folder name. New folder. I know I'm crazy. I'm gonna let everybody be able to see it. We're just gonna create it. Where is it? Right there, new folder. Look at this. I want something in that folder. Right click. Oh wow, I can edit, I can delete, I can create yet another folder, I can upload, I can, cut and copy. So let's upload, add files. It tells you, well, let me show you something. Let me cancel this for a minute. All right. When you click add files, I did it again. When you click upload, you see this little blue box? It's there for a reason. Read it. It says only files under 20 megabytes are allowed. All right. It tells you what kind of characters you have to use. So in order to name your files and have them uploaded. We have these all over Life Coach Office, but oftentimes people they kind of float, but their eyes like float by these boxes. These boxes are very helpful. They're just giving you some additional directions. So if you have a file that's larger than 20 megabytes, you're not going to be able to upload it. You're going to have to break it down into smaller files in order to get it and have file 1, file 2, file 3. Okay, but just as simple to get it in the folder. You're going to say add files. We're going to say let's add this. Open. It's there. Click start. Bam! Look at that. Beautiful. Right there. See that? Your folder. You click. There's your document. It's that easy. It's there in moments. And look at this, another blue box. What does it say? To make changes to your library, right-click the folder or the item you want to access. It's been there all the time. Your folder is actually searchable. So let's see. I want to get the name of that. All right. So I'm going to put generic. And look at that. It's right there all by itself. So if you have a very large library, you can't find something, just type it in the name of it, and it will pull it right up for you. So I wanted to show you that because the library is very, very easy to use. And oh, you know what? Let's go to Chrome. I'm gonna go to Chrome, and I'm gonna sign out of this. We no longer need this. And yeah, I'm gonna go into, let's hope this is right. Okay. No, that's not the one I wanted. I'm sorry. I want to go in as a client because I want you to see some things. All right, you know what? I'm going to do this. All right, we're going to go in as a client. Bear with me. It's probably good for you to see this whole process anyway. Pulling up Universal. I don't know why it's taking a moment. Hi, Renee. Okay, we're going to log in. And that's not what I want. Okay. Awesome. Okay. So this is a sample of a coaching client view. Okay. All right. My client is going to go click in their library. And this is what they see, because this is what they have access to. Now remember, when we were in the coach's side, we were able to decide whether you give access to no one, everyone, or certain groups of people. And so clearly, this client has access to certain things. All of my clients have access to the welcome folder, and they all have access to time management, and they all have access to 9 building blocks, all of them. The additional things in the library are given to people based on how I'm coaching with them. I start them off here, and then I may give them additional access. If they're individual, I start them off here, and I give them additional accesses later on as we move on with coaching, because I don't necessarily want them overwhelmed. And I also want them to feel like, wow, this is a great value add. I keep getting more stuff that I have access to. All right. I want to go back home for this client. Okay, so, and then I'm going to just show you real quick, because I get a lot of questions about the view from a client's perspective. So I'm going to go into a classroom that I gave this client access to. And so this client has access to a few things. There's a Welcome to Coaching video. There's Leadership 101. There's a video on Why People Fail by Les Brown. There's a document called 7 Ways to Get Over Roadblocks. There's a life evaluator assessment. There are several things inside this classroom that this client has. Okay, this is what it looks like from your client. Again, they only have access to what you have allowed them to have access to. So on the other side of this, the coaching side, there's a lot more stuff in there. I just have not granted access to this client. Okay, I want you to be able to see that. This is what I don't think this person has any invoices. No. So he doesn't have any invoices, so there are no invoices for him to see. And when he views the calendar, it looks like this. Now, I got a question the other day that says, you know, my client can't see my availability. That's because the client hasn't requested a meeting. Here's what needs to happen. The client has to click request a meeting. They have to click new. And then they have to say pick a spot. When they say pick a spot, what happens is that the calendar comes up and it shows when you're available. Okay? They don't need to see it if they're not ready to pick a spot, but when they're ready to pick a spot, when they go in and they actually click pick a spot, they're going to see it. All right, just wanted to let you know. Extra tip for tonight. All right, so that's what I wanted to share with you in reference to the library. This is the view from the client side. Okay, they only have access to what you give them access to. And then we're going to go back to the coach's side. And those are those are two different coaching accounts. That's why they look different. I'm just showing you the views from each. This is the view for a coach of all of their folders and their items in their library. So use your library to your advantage. Think about your clients. First, think about what you're an expert in, because that's what you should be coaching anyway, right? You're probably coaching a lot on the things that you're an expert in. Think about all the things that you have written that are just hanging out in your computer or on a jump drive somewhere. Put them in your library, right? You don't even have to go crazy editing them at the moment. Just put them in there, even if it's just for you to see them at the moment. Put them in there, and then begin to give access. Because now what happens, once you have them in the system, you're going to start thinking about, oh, who could have access to this? Who could have access to that? How many people could actually utilize this? And you'll begin to open up your information to your clients. The other thing is search for information that your clients need. I love Flipboard and Pinterest. I don't know if any of you know Flipboard and Pinterest, but they are two great sites for a lot of information. And it's information that, you know, people want you to share in many places. There are many places on the internet where you can go, where you can get articles that you can actually share within Life Coach Office, public articles that say, you know, hey, if you want to share this, just say this, and you can share it as much as you want. So please look for information. Don't recreate the wheel all the time. You need to be the expert at getting them the information. You don't have to write it all, right? You don't have to write it all. But if you're going to use other people's information, you have to make sure that they get the credit and that you're using it legally. Can't say that enough, all right? So make sure that you're using that. And if you haven't ever looked at Flipboard or Pinterest, please do. And, you know, as a coach, you may want to create a Pinterest site just for yourself if you have a lot of things that, you know, depending upon the kind of coach you are, you might have a lot of things that Pinterest might be able to help with. There are a lot of people using Pinterest these days. It actually moved very quickly from a site to a site where there is a lot of advertisements, you know, and a lot of companies using it because it's visual and people like visual things. All right, the other thing that I want to talk to you about, is that it? Is that it on, hold on, I want to make sure that that's it on the library. Okay, one other thing, when you're using other people's information, when you're getting permission from them, don't be afraid to ask. Here's the truth. You know for yourself, if someone were asking you, you love the free marketing, don't you? So make sure that they understand they're going to get full credit. This is what it will look like. Even give them an access to what it looks like in your library. Explain to them that your clients are going to come in, they're going to see it, they're going to read it. You'll have their website, all that stuff. Be fair, all right, when you're using other people's stuff. But people love free advertisements. So, you know, you don't have to, you don't have to create everything. You don't have to create every video. There are tons of videos out there that people don't mind if you use them. It's as simple as asking. So knock yourself out, play in that library, and watch what happens. Watch what people start saying, what your clients start saying in reference to the library. They may even begin to give you ideas about what you can put in the library. All you have to do is listen. Okay, so now let's talk about another area that I think if you had your clients work in this area, you could actually end up coaching them even longer. And that is the area of visions and goals. So I clicked on clients. I'm going to click on Dave Smith. You guys know Dave really, really well. And I'm going to click on visions and goals. Okay? When you click on vision and goals, look at that. All of these different areas where you are able to have someone fill out a vision and add goals for their life. As a matter of fact, I think I might want to look at this as a client. Hold on a second. Yeah, okay. So I'm a client, And look at that. When it comes up, it says, work with your coach to write a vision statement and goals for each area of your life. Okay? So we're going to say, what is the career business vision statement? I'm just going to put to have the best job ever. All right? That's their vision statement. Now, as a coach, when you see that, you should say, oh boy, I have my work cut out for me, right? So you're going to save that. Okay. And then their goal, best job ever, to get a job. All right. So that's their goal. Their goal is to get a job, because, you know, and it's going to be the best job ever when they get it. And then they're going to say that their goal date is going to be 29th. Oh, no. Come on. The 6th. Okay. And then we're going to save that. Okay. So your client's vision statement is to have the best job ever. And their due date is October the 6th. And here's what happens when they go to the calendar. This is what I love. I really do love this about Life Coach Office. When you go to goal due dates, October 6th, best job ever. And the reason why it says a great test, because I named this client a great test client. Okay, so it has the client's name and it has what the goal is. Isn't that awesome? And it will also be there in you, so when you go into your, okay, oh, I probably can't. When you go into your side, you're going to see that they have a goal to obtain the best job ever. So when you have conversations with your client now, you can talk to them about that wacky vision statement. Of course, you're not going to call it wacky. You're going to talk to them about that vision statement, and you're going to talk to them about their goal. So when you meet with them, on the 27th, how are we doing with that goal? What can we do to get you closer to it? Tell me how you've been handling your recruiting effort. How many places have you applied to? How many people have you responded back to? You can have a whole conversation about it. And because they filled out that page, you're just on it with them. Now, here's what I want you to think about. Go back to the vision and goals area. Once again, do you see all these areas? Do you see that? All these areas where you can talk to your client and say, I want you to create a vision statement for every area. And as they begin to do that and they start looking at the things that they want to accomplish in life and setting goals for it, this is how you, again, begin to show yourself valuable as a coach. All right? It helps you control what is going on and what it is that you are offering to your client in those coaching sessions. Look, the coaching journal helps. Having this information there helps. You don't have to keep, separate notes on a piece of paper all the time. I know many of us, and I say us because I love my pencil and paper, many of us love to write, but there's nothing better than having all that information in Life Coach Office. So wherever you are, that information is there. This is an area that we don't really use as much as we could. So if you're working with someone, there are a lot of you are diet coaches, healthy eating coaches, things like that, fitness coaches. You should be using that health and fitness area. Have them create a vision statement for that area and then start putting some goals in place. So, you're setting them anyway. By such and such, you're going to do this. By such and such, you're going to do that. This is also a place where if you wanted to just keep track of homework here, instead of having a place inside your coaching journal, you could do that as well. Use it the way you want to, right? Use it the way you want to. All right, I want to go back here. Another place, family. How many of you are coaching people on family, or you're coaching people on something completely different, but family always comes up, always. I don't think I've ever had a client that I coached where somewhere along the line, family didn't come up. It always comes up, right? Finances and wealth, come on now. If you coach someone for any period of time, at some point, it's going to come up. So use this area to your advantage. Get them to tell you their vision for that area, and then it helps you break down how they're viewing it, what they are, how they're viewing that particular area of their life, and it helps you break down how you can assist them in achieving what their goal really is. It also helps you help them learn how to write a vision statement and how to actually create smart goals for themselves, right? Because some people don't really know how to break a goal down. If you have a goal to graduate college, that's great. But there's like a lot of steps between where you are now, if you haven't even walked through the doors of a college, to getting that degree. There's a lot of goals that you can put in there. So work with your clients in this area. You can use this, just that area alone. You can use that to leverage yourself as a great coach. And if you have, a few tools that are set up, like the free tools I told you about earlier that Bene offers to help you set up your business, you have some tools that are there, and then you have Life Coach Office, you're set. All right. Those of you who, you've been coaching for a long time, I'm sure. Many of you, coaching comes as a career, yes, but many people who come to coaching come because they've been helping people along the way for many, many years. They just never decided to say, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and learn a little bit more and become a coach. Not everyone does that, but you've been coaching people all along anyway. You know how to do this. So use this area, help them create visions and goals. And I mean, that in itself can keep you guys busy for a long period of time. The other thing that vision and goals are good for is that when you have a vision for a particular area of your life and you're working with a client, say they have a vision to have the best job ever. And, let's say they get a good job and things seem to be going well, and then they hit, a snag somewhere in the job and they're not quite as happy. You can say to them, hey, does this job still match the vision that you have for your career? And they're like, well, what do you mean? Well, let's go to your vision and goals area. Let's read what your vision is. And then they get to go and take a look at the vision. And they're like, you know what? It's not adding up anymore. And now they have to figure out, what do they do about it? Do they change jobs? Do they change how they're working within that company? What is it that they need to alter for this to once again become the best job ever? It's something you can go to again and again and again and again and again. So those are the two areas, the library and the vision and goals area. Those are the areas that I really wanted to talk to you about tonight. I hope that you find it extremely useful. I really, really do. Because we create this system so that it can be all that you need it to be, so that you can be organized and efficient for your client. All right. And remember, one last thing. I said this not long ago. I have to show you over here. It just hit my mind. So I want to make sure that you remember. It's important for you to keep track of your coaching hours, right? So, no, I don't want to do it here. I want to go here. It's important for you to keep track of your coaching hours, and you do that in the coaching journal. This was a question not long ago. And so I'm just pulling this up to see it. Let me see which one is in here. Okay, great. All right, so private notes for the coach is the area where you keep track. How long did the session last? Was it pro bono or paid? Give yourself a self-rating and save it. You want to do this after every session. Just go in and immediately do it, get it done with. The reason why is because at some point in time, you may decide that you want to go for a credential, and you have to be able to show them how many coaching hours you've had. And you know what happens? If you haven't been doing that, you have to go into all these meetings now and you have to do that. So just do it now, whether you're using it or you're not using it, just do it now. And then when you want to be able to say, this is how many coaching hours I have, hey, maybe you just want to check for yourself. Maybe you're writing a new bio on your coaching page, or some information is being put out. You're going to go speak somewhere. They want to talk about something that you want to add. So just have that information available to you. It's easy. It saves you a lot of time in the long run, and it's definitely something that can help you. It doesn't hurt at all. All right, so that's another quick value add for tonight. All right, it is actually 10:26, so we're approaching the time for us to end, and I believe that we did cover everything. Yeah, we actually did. We covered everything tonight. We talked about us going to Stripe. We talked about our library. We talked about the vision and goals areas, and a few other things. So please play this again if you miss anything. But also, again, share with me anything that you'd love to see a video on, a webinar on. It doesn't have to be Life Coach Office related. It could just be about coaching in general. Just let us know what you're looking for. We're always excited to meet the needs of our coaches. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for your participation tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. Look for next month's open call. I don't know when it's going to be yet, but you'll be receiving that information in our next newsletter. And take care. Happy coaching. That's what we say here. Happy coaching.